So this is JavaScript basics. We're looking at iterator methods. This time we're going to look at the map iterator method, the map iterator method. It is kind of similar to the for each iterator method. The for each iterator method takes each element and performs whatever we ask it to perform, and it makes a new line. It returns a new line for each element. So we had like dogs, animals. So we had dogs, pigs, sheep, whatever. And we asked it to return I love and then the parameter. So it returned a string that said I love dogs, I love sheep, I love pigs. So it returned each element it took, and it returned a new line for each element. On the map one, it actually returns a whole new array that's been modified. So let's just get stuck into it and look at exactly what we're talking about. So we've got an array here called const odd numbers. And it equals 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So odd numbers equals 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. That's what's inside of our array. I'm going to uncomment the code here that I've done earlier. I've prepared it earlier. So I've decided to declare a new variable to perform this method on this array, just so I can make it easy to log it to the terminal, etc. So because we don't have console log inside the function this time. We've got a return inside the function. So to be able to see it on the console, I've decided to turn this into a variable. So we've got const, and it's called even numbers. So we're making a new array now. We're taking the odd numbers array and we're making a new array called even numbers. And the way we're doing that is we're getting the identifier, so the name of the array, which is odd numbers, dot map parentheses. So it's const even numbers equals odd numbers dot map parentheses. Okay, so we're doing a function expression inside the parentheses. We don't need to write function. We can use a fat arrow. So we're just going to do the parameter. If you've got more than one parameter, then you would want to use an extra set of parentheses here. But we're just doing one parameter. So we've got num, N-U-M. We've got the fat arrow, which is the equals and the greater than sign. And then we've got the curly braces, and we're returning. So we're returning num times 2. So we're taking the parameter and we're timesing it by 2. So we're basically going to take each element inside this array, multiply it by 2, but instead of returning each number individually, we're going to return the whole array, a whole new array with each number that has been multiplied by 2. So let's run it. Let's run it now. Or let's uncomment the console log here. So we've got console log, parentheses, even numbers. So we're console logging this new variable here. So let's run it. And here you go. So we've got a new array now. It's 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, 22. So it's taken this array and it's multiplied it by 2 because we've asked it to multiply it by 2 and returned a brand new array. So again, we've used const even numbers. So we've made a variable and we've equaled that to the identifier dot the method parentheses and then our function expression. So that's odd numbers dot map parentheses num, which is the perimeter, fat arrow, curly braces, return num times 2. So it's odd numbers dot map parentheses num, fat arrow, curly braces, return num times 2. One more thing we can say about this is we can reduce it a little bit more. I prefer to write things the long way and then reduce them later on, just so you can really understand what we're looking at. It makes it clearer. We know how it's been constructed. So let's run this. And again, it's run the same array. It's got our new odd numbers array. This time it's written with odd numbers dot map parentheses num, fat arrow, num times 2. So it was very simple. It was written very simple, this function. So the whole thing that we've written is const even numbers. So we're making a new array by using the iterator method. We're assigning it to odd numbers, the array odd numbers, dot map method parentheses num, fat arrow num times 2. So it's odd numbers, dot map, parentheses, perimeter fat arrow, perimeter times 2, and we've console logged that, and it's displayed the result. Okay, so that is sums up map iterator methods for now. Thank you very much.